What's good, everybody? RJ Shun here, back with another episode of Off the Top Show, Spartan Dog segment. As you see on the screen here, my good brother Tony Lippett, aka Lip. How we doing, my good brother?
What's the wizard?
Man, football, baby. We told you last week that it was about to be live, and it definitely was. So let's go ahead. The Lions are going to be facing the Commanders at home, 7 p.m. this Saturday. I mean, if you, like we said earlier, this past week, if you watched football, oh my God, incredible. Granted, there are some teams, we're going to get into it later with the speak on it and when Lip goes ahead and we kind of conversate about that. But you got your team, you're set. Lions, let's get it. 7 o'clock. Talk to me.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a good game, man. It's going to be a good game. They're playing against Washington, a young stud for a quarterback, young superstar. A hot team, a hungry team, a well-coached team. Dan Quinn, they got leadership on the defense, and Payne and Bobby Wagner. Lattimore might play a little better this week. They just young, man. They just got their first playoff win. And I think, well, what it said, it's been like Washington haven't won a playoff game in over 10 years. So for them to do that, I know that fan base is going to travel. I know they're ecstatic. It's going to be a real good game, man. They was 12-5 this year. Obviously, had some big wins, had some losses and things like that. But to win 12 games with a rookie quarterback and for him to overcome the wall that he kind of hit mid-season a little bit, and for him to overcome that and continue to add on games and that, and then come and win a road playoff game and his first playoff game against a solid, Tampa Bay team, that away game. It's going to be tough, man. I look forward to this game. I look forward to seeing what Gibbs is going to do, seeing the game plan, like seeing how the Lions are going to attack this team, seeing what they're going to, focus on. Is it going to be the run game, passing game, play action game? What is going to be the game plan? I'm just excited to see what's going on, man. I'm excited to see the Lions defense versus Jaden Daniels as well, because obviously if you watch that game, he made a play with his legs at the end of the game where I thought he was sacked in the backfield. I'm watching it. I'm like, bro, he about to get sacked and like pull it down. But for him to shed that off there and then come and dive, like he makes mature plays. And I remember talking about it before, like before the season, waiting for the season. I'm like, bro, like in the offseason, I'm like, bro, this Jaden Daniels kid, nice, bro. He can throw the ball. Like, he's very accurate. He can run. He was getting blasted at LSU. But I like that he was getting up. Like, he kept getting up, and he kept running, and he kept fighting. And I always used to say, like, I just want to see how he run, like, the quick game. See if he get the ball out of his hand. And if you watch the game, if you watched him this year, he get the ball out of his hand. Like, he not holding on to it, waiting for people to get open. Like, you can tell he can process the field and process what's around him. And that's a gift. You feel me? Everybody don't have that. So aside from the other gifts he has, I'm excited to see this game, man. I think it's going to be a good game. I'm excited to see it, man. See what's going on, man.
No, I'm right with you. This is definitely going to be another game throughout that whole week that I'm definitely going to be tuned into. Obviously, due to all of our NFC teams that are out the week, the first week. I've said earlier on here what I like to look at when I go ahead and watch games. We got two clashers of guys that are playing very good football this season and obviously rolling into the playoffs. Jared Goff and obviously Daniels, that's definitely what I'm going to be looking at. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be, you got that home field advantage now. Hey, we've seen what momentum does in playoff games. It can completely go ahead and take a team out of it, or you go ahead and be able to upset somebody. But as I've said, when I see these type of situations for the Lions, they're going to come out on top because they're ready for a challenge. And I think the Lions are going to go ahead and take that one.
One thing, they don't want to start with a slow start. Sometimes coming off that bye week, you can start slow even though you're at home. And, of course, the crowd going to be into it. Of course, the energy going to be there. But the Lions do not want to start off slow. You don't want to turn this into no shootout or nothing like that. Because if this is a shootout, I think it's going – if this game is a shootout, it can go either way. So
that's
you
real.
don't want to turn this into a shootout because if it's a shootout, that means defenses ain't showing up. And Jaden Daniels, he fuck around and has 6 touchdowns if it's a shootout, like with his legs and his arm, and you don't want that. So the Lions need to start fast. They need to, you know, not start with a 3 and out, not start with a turnover, not start with none of that. They need to start fast. So that's going to be the key of what I'm looking at. That first quarter, what's going on? Because Washington already played. That's the benefit of playing, the first round of playoffs. You already in that playoff mode. You in that winner go home mode already. And this team ain't played yet. So
Right.
just something to keep an eye on.
No, definitely. Run that damn ball with Gibbs. Establish that run. If he gets going, I don't see no problem with this team going ahead and getting that going and then hitting, obviously, their guys that they have in St. Brown, Laporta, Williams, getting those guys open down the field. But 100% with you. Got to start fast. Moving on over to the Pistons. Beat the Knicks yesterday, 124-119. I think those 2 previous games, I think they split those when I was looking at it earlier. Lost to the Warriors, but only by 3. Beat the Raptors, 123-124. Hey, they're putting a couple good months together here. Playing competitive basketball, kind of getting in that, situation where they're going to get a, possibly good seed when the playoff time comes. Obviously, you got to continue to play well. But talk to me about your Pistons. They're looking consistent, and I like it a lot.
No, big win last night. Playing in the Garden. Obviously, that's like the most honorable, the most legendary arena that basketball players like around the world always want to come and play at. So just knowing the nostalgia of that stadium and that city and just knowing what was done there and all the accomplishments that happened in that stadium, people always want to come there and put on a performance. And if you play for the Knicks, you want to, defend your home turf.
Right.
So for the Pistons to go in there and win that game versus a pretty good Knicks team. I mean, we're not going to act like the Knicks are, not good. They're the 3 seed right now. So to go in there and win that game, that's very, very good. Cade Cunningham dropping 36. They are 21-19 right now. They're literally 1 game out of the 5th seed and 1.5 games from the 4th seed. So if they can take care of January, get to the All-Star break, because a lot of teams start to get bored around January and right before the All-Star. They need to take care of their business right now, and that'll put them in, in a great space.
Right.
Moving forward, like as far as like March and February after the All-Star game, I put them in a good spot so they can, maintain their playoff game. So I'm liking it, man. Like I said, they won 1 game out of the 5th seed, put together a good January, they'd be in good hands. Who knows, man? Devin Booker might say, man, I want up out of here. You keep bringing all these people here. Kevin Durant want to bring people here. We don't know what we're doing over here. We kind of just wildcatting it. He might want to say, hey, I want to go to the East. You feel me? Let me just go to the East and play over there. He from here.
Yeah.
He from Grand Rapids. So she got some Detroit ties. And we definitely always, catch him here, seeing him. He always wearing Detroit hats and Red Wing hats and Tigers hats. And so him and Cade, I think I like that. Because I think they would gel well together. Because they both are not like heavy ball dominant. Like right. Devin Booker he needs a point guard. So if you got him commanding the offense, Cade Cunningham, and then you bring in D-Book, I think that'll, jumpstart the Pistons into, top 4 seed for real. And the Pistons and the Lions being great again, stop playing. So I'm all here for it, man. All right. Come on, D-Book. Light-skinned brothers come over here going crazy.
No, seriously, if that happens, that'll be cinema of the NBA if that happens.
Yeah.
Because, me just casually checking the box scores, like I'm seeing all role players over double digits.
Yeah.
When I see them all over double digits, that means that they're contributing, they're shooting the ball at the high clip, and then you got your centers playing well. I mean, you got Tobias Harris with 8 rebounds, you got Duren with 8 rebounds. Hardaway Jr., 10 points. Granted, he probably would have had more if he maybe made a couple more threes, because what I'm just thinking, when I see a stat like this, that he's getting his shot off and he's hitting consistently. And then Beasley. I mean, Beasley's 22 points, shooting at a high clip. Like, This is what you want to see against prime competition like the Knicks, because this is a team that you could potentially face in the playoffs. So I'm with it. I mean, if they go ahead and make that, even if it's a rumor that.
And like K, like he only played 32 minutes last night. Look how efficient this is, bro. 36 points, 14 for 27. That's over 50%.
He was 14 of 27.
14 of 27. 4 for 8 from the 3-point line. That's 50%. And 4 for 4 from the free throw line. So he getting buckets, scoring 36 points, and only four of them points came from free throws, and everything else he was over 50%. That's efficiency, bro. Like, I like that right there. So he falling into his own. Like he's becoming. Hey, he becoming. He can probably say, hey, if he be this way, he can be like, I'm the all-star starter for the next 5 years because I'm like that. So if he can stay healthy and he can continue to get better and continue to make people around him better, it's gonna be just like that. His favorite player is Brian too, so he got a little Brian in him. He ain't Brian, but he got a little versatility like Brian do. So I'm rocking with it.
Hey, that's great for, again, City of Detroit is rocking right now. Great times. Good to see it. Michigan State, they went ahead and faced, obviously, Northwestern. They won that 178-68 this past weekend. And then Thursday, they went in and beat Washington 88-54, playing very well. Dominant Tom Izzo basketball. Both ends, scoring, playing defense. I was just watching the highlights, and guys are making plays. It's not just like the core guys. Everyone is making plays. They got Penn State this week in Illinois. That one is on Sunday. That's 2 ranked teams. That one's going to be a really good game. That one's at 11 a.m. I'm definitely going to be tuned into that. I know Illinois right now is ranked 19th, and we're ranked 12th, so that's going to be a good Big Ten clash to go ahead and get what up on each other. So
I'm gonna watch that game, the Sunday game versus Illinois, 2 ranked teams in the Breslin.
Yeah,
in the end zone, Yeah, I'm tune into it, see what's going on.
No, absolutely. So that's the lineup for them. And then let's just go ahead and get on this long topic of NFL playoff football that we had endured last weekend. This is going to be the Speak On It, basically, topic for the remainder of the show, because as you've tuned in to hear, we love our football, but number one, we love when it's playoff football. So I'm going to go ahead and start. Chargers and Texans. That one was Saturday, this past Saturday. Texas won that one 32-12. Yikes, Chargers. Talk to me about this game.
Man, the Chargers actually came out fast. That first quarter, they was moving the ball. They weren't scoring though. Like they was kicking 2 field goals, but they were moving the ball pretty well, and they was getting in. They was moving the ball to the point where they was in the red zone a couple times, to where they should score points. If you score points, this is a different type of game. But if it's 6-zip, damn near the whole game. I mean, like the whole first quarter, and you keeping this team in the game. Let me see. Yeah, the whole first quarter was 6-0. So they allow Texas to put themselves back into the game, because if it's 6-zip and you're moving the ball but you only scoring field goals, I'm like, okay, all I need is one play. Like it can be one mess up play, one big play to where we score a touchdown and now it's 7-6, and now you are on the defensive end again now, and you're not the aggressor anymore. So, but watching this game, obviously I like the Chargers defense. I picked the Chargers to win this game too, because I just thought Houston, they was kind of out of whack this whole year. Obviously they had the same amount of wins this year as they did last year, but it just looked different. And then, you lose Stephon Diggs, you lose Tank Dell, that kind of stagnates your offense. And then you got Joe Mixon and Nico Collins. Right. The other guys that is rotated, they wasn't really making a lot of plays like that. Even a tight end, he wasn't even making a lot of plays like that. But C.J. Stroud just took advantage of this game. In the second half, I think he looked way better than he did in the first half. Herbert, he looked way worse in the second half than he did in the first half. He was just throwing interception after interception after interception. And people can say, well, a couple of them wasn't his fault. But they kind of were, because the ball is coming out of your hand. And if you're throwing it too high and it go through his hands, Yeah, it went through his hands, but you could have hit him in the chest. And now you overthrow him, and he got to go up here and he drop it. Now the dude right behind him is catching it. Instead of you just throwing it to his chest, and if he don't catch it, it falls to the ground. Or on the out route that he kind of throwing off his back foot, it's like you can just tell they was off.
Right.
And I think it was him. I think he was off. And that's what I love about the playoffs, man, because we hear all this stuff about the regular season, these quarterbacks and how good they are and how they should be in the MVP race. And, oh, my God, this guy is so efficient and look the way he's playing. And then you get in the playoffs and it's just like when the shit really matter, when every possession matter, every throw matters, you see like these guys are who they are. That's why they big them up so much, because they want them to be that. But if they was that, they'd be beating them down.
Right.
If that makes sense. Because the guys that's great, they try to find every little thing about them to demean them, to, belittle them. But the guys that's, all right, but could be great, they just try to talk positive to them to try to make them play up into that. That's why they was holding Sam Darnold in the air after a Week 16 win, because they know that's probably the best he gonna be. And they try to keep him at that point of like confidence. They try to say, bro, we this is about you and we gonna need you. But when you needed him to show up, you seen what happened. But this is a good game for CJ Stroud. He played well. Nico Collins played well. I think he had the most reception yards in a Houston, Texas history, more than DeAndre Hopkins and Andre Johnson. That was kind of crazy to me. I'm like, damn, he only had 122. So he balled out. He was making plays. Texas just looked good, man. Their defense was going crazy. Them two corners, long, lanky corners. Was it Lassiter? I think his name Lassiter. I don't know how you said it. My bad. Number 4. He nice, bro. I like how he play. I like how he sit at the line and play press, long arms, bigger corner. And Stingley the same way. Stingley all pro in this third year. They both got their hands on the ball. Stingley got 2 picks. This guy got 1 pick. Other corner, I think it's the safety of the corner. Pick 6. Sacks. Like, Houston looked good. And this was probably the best they looked all season. So they got clicking at the right time. Good game. Good game by Houston. Bad loss by the Chargers, though. But they do need to get some help for Herbert. They need to get another outside threat. And they don't need to fall behind, because a hardball type of team is not a team that's going to throw their way back into the game. He don't want to throw his way back into the game. He wants the game to be tight the whole time, to where he can still use his play action, still use his run game, still use his reverses, still throw to his tight ends. He don't want to turn it into a 40, 50 pass attempt type of game. That's not his offense. That's not how he wants to play. Right. So they need somebody to help him on the outside. The rookie from Georgia, though, I like him. McConkey, I like him.
He was eating.
I like him. But good win for Houston. It's going to be tough next week, but good win for Houston, though.
Yeah. D'Amico Ryans has got those guys playing well. I love his defense. I love what he brings to that team for the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
Because it stinks. And then, obviously, that same day, Action Jackson, a.k.a. Lamar, Action Jackson, went ahead and faced the Steelers. That game was done at halftime. They won 28-14. Hey, man, when I see him go ahead in the beginning, I think there was like a little breakaway. I don't know what it was, but I saw on basically IG just the videos of like when they got like the mic'd up situation, and he's jacked like, yeah, like this is what we want. This is what we came here to do before they had to start. And he goes ahead, don't fumble the football, run with a passion, let's get it. I'm like, all right, he's clocked in. But the thing is with them that defense was playing very well. Talk to me about this, because, hey, I got the Ravens going to the Super Bowl.
I like to hear that. I'm going to just run this down real quick. Total yards. Ravens had 464 to the Pittsburgh Steelers 28. Time of possession. Basically, the Ravens have the ball for 40 minutes. Pittsburgh had it for 20 minutes. Ravens had 29 first downs. Pittsburgh 11. Pittsburgh was 5 for 11 on third down. The Ravens was 10 for 15. In the red zone, the Ravens was 3 for 4. Steelers didn't see the red zone. Both had no turnovers, and that's really good on the Ravens' behalf. 99 rushing yards to the Steelers' 29. And they should have had 300 rushing yards, but they took a knee at the end. So that's taking a knee shouldn't take away from your it shouldn't even be an attempt, and it shouldn't take away from your yardage. They
Just
should
victory.
stop that.
It just stops the game.
Yeah, it shouldn't be no play. Like, you shouldn't lose yards on that. So 300 yards rushing, 160 whatever passing. They just dominated that whole game. The Ravens just look good, man. I don't want to hear that whole Steelers. This is his record versus the Steelers. Lamar Jackson owned that conference. He's owned that conference. When he was healthy, he's owned that conference. He's beaten everybody in that conference. He owned the NFL for real. But his division, Browns, Bengals, and the Steelers, that is Lamar's division. And that's one of the tough. It's always gonna be one of the tougher divisions in the league, because those are like all of those franchises, organizations are historical. The Browns, Pittsburgh, the Bengals, even the Bengals. You feel me? The Bengals got a little history with them. So that was just a straight beatdown. Derrick Henry going crazy, Lamar Jackson going crazy. 21 pass attempts, over 50 rushing attempts. That's what I like to see. And what I loved about this game, the first quarter, Lamar had like damn near 10 rushing attempts. And I was like, bruh, I love it.
When I was in Philly, I was thinking about your video. Like, I know Lip is behind the screen. She's in front of the screen. Like, why weren't we doing this all year?
Bruh, I'm turned because I'm like, bro, he's like, they was calling run plays for him. Obviously, the read, the veer, that's like option, you can hand it off this. But it was 2nd and 10, and he took the snap, act like he about to do this, and ran it up the middle. And I'm like, bro, I haven't seen them do that play in years, bro. Like, it's been years since I've seen them just snap the ball 4 wide, quarterback draw up the middle. They have not done that in a long time. And I've seen other teams do that without even quarterbacks that can run. It's like, bro, that is what you have. He was running the ball. Or bruh, you got to keep them honest, because it was a picture in the game on Derrick Henry long touchdown run. It was like a read veer. If you take a picture of the back view, Lamar kind of moved him over a little bit so he can come, because they slice, the defensive end sliced so hard that he was kind of upfield. Right. So Lamar kind of moved him over. And when he moved Derrick Henry over and himself over, bruh, there was 2 safeties and 2 linebackers on the outside of Lamar Jackson. So it's only usually 8 guys in the box. And now you have 3 guys looking at Lamar Jackson. So now you have 6 on, 4 or 5?
Yeah.
6 on 4 or 5. And he breaks that run. And people going to be like, oh, man, Derrick Henry is just this. Now, I understand Derrick Henry is cold.
Excuse me.
But I told y'all, they are the number 1 receivers. They are the number 1 guys. That's what Lamar needed. He didn't need a number 1 receiver. He needed a Saquon Barkley, or he needed a Derrick Henry, because you can't stop both of them. You cannot stop both of them. And we just seen it, man. That was a great game plan. They beat them down 21-0. Yeah, what's the name, ended up scoring, but that you know how it is when you up 21-0. You know, we gonna chill out a little bit. You go ahead, we might slide a little bit, but then they came back and scored at the end to put you out your misery. So great game by the Ravens. I'm excited to talk about this next game that they got, but we'll get to that later. But great game by the Ravens. Steelers need to figure out what they need to do. They need to figure out their coaching, their quarterback. They need to figure that out, because this ain't it.
Not it at all. That's going to be a big offseason talk moving forward with them Steelers, man, for sure, because they got to figure it out. This was a bad loss, especially the team that you had, and you got all this chirping in regards to players, locker room, coaches, like you said. This would be a crazy offseason for them. Bills-Broncos. Bills went ahead and basically beat down on the Broncos 31-7. Josh Allen played incredible. I mean, Broncos shell-shocked in the beginning, came out flat. It was ball game easy. Talk to me about this.
obviously the Broncos came out there, scored on the first drive, made a couple runs, big passes on the first drive, and then that was it for them. That was it. They need more talent around Bo Nix. Obviously, he was a rookie, so you know, rookies gonna play like rookies. The playoffs is a different environment than the regular season, and they just didn't have enough offensively. And when you don't have enough offensively, I don't care how great your defense is. If they got to come out there and play like the 2000 Ravens every possession versus these offenses, it's just not going to happen because the 2000 Ravens didn't go against 11 personnel like that. They didn't go against great quarterbacks. They didn't go against the refs and all these different rules and all these different things. Like they literally was probably in 12 personnel the whole time, 22 personnel the entire game, and they didn't have this type of talent and skill set that these guys have now. So you can have a great defense, but if your offense ain't putting up no points, it don't matter because this is an offensive league now. Josh Allen, them boys look good, man. I don't want to hear that he ain't had no help because James Cook looked pretty damn good, and I think James Cook is a top 10 running back in the league. So if you got a top 10 running back in the league on your team, that's pretty damn good, especially when you have a top 5 offensive line as well. And you need an offensive line in this league. It don't matter what quarterback you have. You need an offensive line. You need a run game, and they have that. And then they have an MVP candidate in Josh Allen as well, which is one of the elite, the 4 elite quarterbacks that I feel in this league. He's one of those guys. Playing in Buffalo, Bills Mafia, man, they live out there. It's crazy out there. It's cold out there. You gotta love it. You gotta love football to play in Buffalo. I'm gonna tell you that. Great game by them, man. Made plays on the receiving end. Let's see. I don't know if you're not gonna beat the Ravens if Amari Cooper have 2 catches for 8 yards. He only had 3 targets, and Amari Cooper. I think he is one of those elite receivers. Like not right now, but his whole career he's been one of those guys.
Right.
Like you got to worry about him. But he always had this thing when it was cold. He always had this thing when it was cold, like it was too cold to play sometimes. And that was a thing that always came back to like hunt him. So I don't know how he's going to play. It's going to be like 10, they said it's going to be like 10, 15 degrees when they play in Buffalo on Sunday. The Ravens going to be ready. They're going to be ready to play. I don't think you're going to beat Samuel not going to have a 55-yard catch and run on the Ravens. I would say the Ravens defense is better than the Bills defense. But Bills had a great game, man. They beat up on a team that, good season, but they wasn't ready for that. I'm going to ask you this. If the Bengals made the playoffs in the 7th seed, do you think the Bengals would have went in there and beat Buffalo?
I think they would have gave Buffalo a game. Like it would have been better than this. I think the Bills would have pulled it out.
Bro, you picked the Broncos to win.
I know.
you do remember that, right?
I know.
Okay. But
I do know.
I'm also say the Broncos, they moved the ball well. They were 1 for 5 in the red zone. Like they got to the red zone.
Yeah.
They got down there. They moved the ball. So I'm just like, I put the Ravens there. You feel me? Like, okay, the Broncos, let's say how many rushing yards they ain't have a whole lot.
You picked the Broncos. Yes, I did. But
yeah.
I would just say, like, not to cut you, I would just say how that the game was going. Yes, I know Joe Burrow and I know Chase. I know that. But I just think the way that they were, I didn't like watching the game Bills-wise. I'm like, yeah, they look ready to play. Like, from all 3 phases, Josh Allen was doing what he needs to do.
Yeah.
Like, asserting himself in the game immediately and making the right throws, like how we talked about. You're seeing guys, that don't do the 1, 2, 3 hitch and that ball's out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was on that every time it was a pass, but like I know where I'm going with this ball immediately because why? My preparation throughout this whole week, I knew what I was getting. I trusted what I was getting, and I didn't think twice about it. That's what I saw from Josh Allen. Now, granted, I know that Joe Burrow is Joe Burrow, but I just think the Bills at home in playoffs, especially the first round. Granted, I know 1-1, or they now are 3-2 in the playoffs. when it comes to like that first round and not losing and stuff. But I would have still like it depended on the team. Like I don't know why I might have picked the Bills. Maybe I thought they'd get upset, but I was wrong. But
Yeah, that's cool. I think the Bengals would have threw the ball more. Like Joe Burrow, I watched Joe Burrow go into Buffalo and win a game in this. I think it was the second round before. I
yeah,
think no, that wasn't the year. That was the year. That was in 2022. After that was the year after they went to the Super Bowl, or 2 years after, whatever. But the Bills going 1 for 5 in the red zone. That's it's not gonna work versus the Ravens.
no,
So I like what I seen, but I'm excited for this matchup. I ain't got nothing else to say about them. We talk about that when we talk about that. But
no, absolutely.
good game by the Bills.
Great game. Fortunately for me, Packers went and lost to the Eagles 10 to
Mm.
22. Talk to me a little bit about this when you were watching some key things that you were like, man, like what the hell's going on? Because I got a laundry list full, but you can go ahead and pop it off.
I'm gonna be brief. We'll let you do your thing. Talk about your boys. Man, you can't turn the ball over, man. Like that's what I was telling you. Like that's what I was saying about Love, man. I just felt like even them turning the ball over 3 times, like they was giving it. The game was damn near 10-3 the entire. I mean 10-0 the entire game. Like the entire game, it was 10-3. Like you had chances to make plays. You had chances to like the Eagles gave you chances, even though you gave the ball away 3 to 4 times. The first play, you can't not fumble on the first fucking play of the game, bro. You cannot do that, bro. Like that, you can't do that, bro. Especially not on the road in Philly. You cannot do that, bro. Like you have to be locked in because there's some teams in the league that's not gonna beat themselves.
Right.
If you want to win, you have to go out there and win. And hopefully this continues to make Jordan Love better because since he's been a starter, he's been up and down. He's been up and down and up and down. And I watched him throw a couple passes and I'm like, bro, what the fuck is that? Like, what is he seeing? Like, the ball looks well coming out of his hand, but it's thrown to the other team. And it's like, bro, what are you doing? Like, he threw a dig route and the linebacker was right there in the lane. Even if the linebacker wasn't right there, I think the corner would have picked it because it was behind him. And I'm just worried, like, bro, okay, it's time to grow up now. It's time to grow up now. Like, what you gonna do? But they still can use. I mean, obviously they had a couple receivers go out, and
Yep.
they already had a receiver out in
Yep.
Watson. They need to get a honcho. They need to go and get a DJ Metcalf, a DK Metcalf. They need to go and get Devontae Adams again. You feel me? They know they need to go and get somebody, a T Higgins. They need to go and get a guy that they know is the a 1A 1B type of guy to where the Reeds, the Dobbs, the Watsons, the Wilkes, they can be where they're supposed to be, and not trying to force the ball to them because you got to give it to them because who else you gonna throw it to? So
Right.
they just got to see what they want to what type of team they want to be. Y'all want to run the ball? Y'all want to pass the ball? What is it? What do you want to do, Coach LaFleur? Like, because from my understanding, the defense played well.
They played incredible. They
Yeah.
played incredible. The crazy thing of what you just said, and you basically that's why you're on the show. We got like-minded guys on here. Our defense held them. Hurts could not throw the football down the field because we had everything on lock for the majority of the game. AJ Brown, let's see stats here.
1 catch, 10 yards.
He had 1 catch, and that's supposed to be a primary guy. That guy's locked down.
3 targets. Oh,
Exactly.
wow.
Okay, Smith went ahead and had a little deep little over. He took it and ran. That's still, he caught it at 15 yards and took it wherever. Then he had another one that was, I would say maybe 20. But what I'm saying is that we had it on lock despite of the adversity that we already had starting the game off. So then that goes back to me and where I'm going to go ahead and talk about this Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love situation. We got to figure this shit out. Like, I'm sitting there, like, because as I told you earlier, I'm sitting there just watching Jordan Love. I'm not watching anything else. I'm watching Jordan Love and where he's looking, and it ain't it. It is not it. Like, that interception that he threw to the middle linebacker, that is like pre-weed
bro,
stuff.
I'm looking.
That's not even NFL. That's not even college. That is little league. So
And
it's
he
just
worked
like,
pressure.
what am I looking at? What am I seeing? What is he doing? And then the one, it was the he like got out of the pocket. He like tried, like, it was like a drill, like awareness, and then like proceeds to just throw like to the just a spot out there. I'm like, bro, just go run the ball. Run it, at least make it manageable. So when I just see things like that, I get very worried because it's like, okay, you see the first year, what Favre and Rodgers did. You see the second year, what Rodgers and Favre did. We're gonna see next year. No, you see the proof in the pudding when you see it live now, not 10 years from now, not next year, not a month from now. So I am very worried going into this offseason, and I will know by the first game of when we play what we're going to get out of Jordan Love and what we're going to get out of Matt LaFleur, because Matt LaFleur, I almost lost it when it was 3rd and 3 and we don't have Josh Jacobs in the game to go ahead and get us 5 yards, because that man Josh Jacobs in action, my good brother, like
He
eyeballs seeing him, he is unreal.
nice.
There were plays where he would make a negative play into a positive play, making two guys miss. He was making like the argument, in my opinion, yeah, Saquon, you're good, but I'm a little bit better. That's where the type was for me. And I mean, I'm at this point, just to keep this brief, because I'm gonna be yeah, hope you guys listen to the Packer episode we got going on. Me and James have got this to a science of what we're about to go ahead and talk about. But excuse me, Josh Jacobs, Tucker Kraft, and if we do get a big time wide receiver in Jordan Love, those are the main vocal guys that we need to make assertive. I think Tucker Kraft, what he does, catching the ball, tight end, things like that, just kind of, I'm not saying the Ravens, but how the Ravens went ahead and played from an offensive standpoint, mine is Love running the ball, hand that thing off to Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
So we'll see though. This was embarrassing. I was very disappointed at 10, and I really, it's gonna be a long off season to go ahead and have me not be more on the plus side of trusting in Love than what I am right now.
You know what I think it could be a little bit with Jordan Love. So it's like when you reward somebody for doing some bullshit and they start to come to the point where, okay, I can do this and, I can still get a little reward.
Right.
Like I can play okay and still get $55 million a year after 1 year. So what I did that year, they liked that. So I can continue to play like that because they paid for that. And that's what happens with a lot of quarterbacks, especially quarterbacks, because everybody else got to earn their shit. They got to earn, and they still probably ain't going to pay you.
Right.
Quarterbacks, you can be Sam Darnold this year and think you about to get 50, 60, $70 million a year. You can be Brock Purdy and be the eighth reason on your team why your team is good, but they paying you like you are fucking LeBron, and you ain't. You Cam Reddish. You Cam Reddish, bro. So when you pay these quarterbacks, from playing up and down, and you pay them like they consistent, and now they feel like, okay, they accepted that. Then if I don't get better, will they still love me? Because a lot of motherfuckers don't get better. Like we keep saying, like, oh, Jordan Love gonna be good. He gonna be great. He gonna, he gonna be all right. He gonna be good. Are we still gonna be saying this shit in 3 years?
I know I'm not. I mean, after what I saw, something needs to change now. And if it doesn't change game one, I'm not. I'm not with, like, I am. And it's not even of what I've seen throughout my whole career as a Packer fan. It's that this is just not the standard of a Packers quarterback. This is not it. And I'm sick of it. I'm hearing, and I'm done with the excuses. I'm done of, people holding on to hope and shit like that. No, this game, as you look at it, we've been in a lot of these games where we had opportunities for our quarterback to go in and take the helm and do what he needs to do. We had it when we had Rodgers. There was no issue with that. We had it when we had Favre. I'm just saying, this next year is going to be the most important year for everybody in that Packers organization.
I believe that.
They better figure it out because this was not it. And it's not I don't want to hear you tell the media, you don't really say what you want to say. Boy, if I'm at the floor, I'm working like a motherfucker this
Packers,
whole offseason.
It was high hopes for the Packers this year, and
we were Super Bowl. We were Super Bowl contenders. That's what everyone was picking. We had multiple people on your local station that you say, ESPN, Fox. You were all on board, and I was too.
I had Jordan Love win MVP. Remember? I remember at the beginning of the season, I said this is a wild card Super Bowl game, matchup. But I had the Packers in Houston. It was if that, if I'm like, he win MVP, then they gonna be here.
Right.
He didn't play like MVP at all. He played like he was up and down. He played Sam Darnold-ish.
No, it was that. It wasn't no.
You can't turn, bro. You can't turn the. He a turnover machine for sure, but you can't turn the ball over. You can't throw 3 picks in a playoff game, bro.
No,
it's not gonna happen, bro. You're giving the ball away 3 times. The game is won on turnover margins. If you know anything about sports, you know that. So yeah, they got some shit to figure out.
And it was sick because we still had an opportunity to win the game and we couldn't capitalize. Whew. Anyways, make sure to check out the Wisconsin segment because that's going to be nuts. Went ahead and beat the Buccaneers 23-20. We have an emergence of a young superstar in Jaden Daniels that went ahead and took the helm to get where his team needed to be, to just give an opportunity to win. He did it. You had talked about him earlier. Talk to me about this game.
Young superstar. I think he won him young superstar. Now, obviously, next year is a different year. And from year 1 to year 2 is different. And he can regress next year because the league got film on him but he has a skill set that you can't teach, and that's his legs and his speed and being able to take off with the ball and being able to command the entire attention of everybody on the field, on the stadium, everything. He has that type of command. He has that Lamar Jackson command. He has that Josh Allen command because they can run. But these are guys that can win from the pocket too. Bro, he really be just sitting in the pocket most of the time. He's not hot feet trying to run every time. He's sitting in the pocket. It was a perfect play in the red zone. The touchdown he threw to McLaurin on the dig route. Over here, they ran a trips route. He looked over there. It was like a switch route with a corner on top. He looked at the switch route. It wasn't there. And most quarterbacks would just sit right there. Once they try to target, they about to throw it, they would just sit right there. He reset his eyes, took 2 more steps back, reset back in the pocket, and then turned over here and threw the dig route. And I was like, bro, that's impressive. And that was on 4th down.
Yeah. It wasn't on no second, third. That was on a critical down in the playoffs. I saw that with a drink in my hand. Yes. I saw it with a drink in my hand. I'm like, oh my God.
Bro, I said, man, that's impressive, bro. And if I'm a receiver, I'm taking my ass to Washington. I'm going to Washington. Washington is the spot I'm going to. And I might be considering going to Carolina to play with Bryce Young before I would go to the Packers and play with Jordan Love. I ain't lying.
That's real.
I'm going receiver. I'm going Washington. I'm going Carolina. And I'm going Packers. And maybe Raiders in front of the Packers, depending on what the Raiders do at quarterback. That's my options if I'm a top wide receiver and I want to get paid 20, 30, because obviously you got quarterbacks on a rookie salary. So they not getting paid right now. So you can pay other guys.
Right.
And you can ball with these young quarterbacks. But that's nor here nor there. Jaden Daniels just looked good, man. He had total command of the game. I remember telling you last week when we was on the episode, I'm like, man, when we step on the field, we watching this game, who is going to be the best player on the field? I said, who's going to be the best player on the field? The whole field, out of both teams, everybody that's dressed, who was the best player? It was him. And what did we have? He was the best player. 24 for 35, 268 yards, 2 touchdowns, no INTs, only got sacked 1 time, and a big run at the end of the game on 4th down to get that first down. And on another 4th down to throw a touchdown to your receiver on the back. He the X. He the X. And you had a safety kind of on that side a little bit. But him looking over here kind of shifted him over here a little bit. And then you turn back and look straight, keep him right there, and then you come back to that dig route. So, man, he electric, bro. I don't even have a nickname for him yet. But he's smooth, though. He's smooth, man. He's smooth. Obviously, the fumble by Baker messed it up.
Right.
But something kind of shocked me about this game when I looked at the stats and I was watching it, but really looking at the stats. Baker Mayfield was 15 for 18, 185 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And it ain't like they had a whole bunch of carries. They only had 25 carries, like rush attempts. Baker has 7 of those. So this is a guy that threw for 4,500 yards and over 40 touchdowns. And he only have 18 passing attempts at home in a playoff game? That was the game plan?
That's
to
so
only throw the
weird.
ball 18 times for a guy that just threw for 4,500 yards. I think he led the league in passing yards this year. I think he no, he didn't lead. He was second. Joe Burrow did. Joe Burrow threw for 4,900. But he threw for 40-plus touchdowns as well. How don't Baker Mayfield have 20-plus pass attempts in this game?
Yeah, that's real.
That kind of shocked me. It's like, do y'all believe in Baker like y'all saying it? Do y'all believe in Baker like y'all be saying? Because 15 completions on 18 attempts for not even 200 yards, that's not gonna win you. That's not gonna win you a game. I mean, it should win you a game, but you fumbled on the snap. Whatever that was, I don't know what that was. He kind of fumbled. I don't even think they should be trying to run that play at that time.
Right.
But they did. I don't know. 18 pass attempt, that was kind of like alarming to me. That's just me, though. I don't know. But great game by Washington. Excited to see them come to Detroit and see if they, shock the world.
And then last but not least here, Monday night's game for the Vikings. Good God. 27-9. Sam Darnold was god-awful. Matthew Stafford, incredible. Rams came out and got after it early. That D-line for the Rams is insane. Talk to me about this game for you and what you saw.
That D-line. But they had 6 sacks in the first half. They had 9 sacks. 9. And they wasn't – some of them was coverage sacks. Some of them was Sam Darnold holding on to the ball for too long. It's all of that. Like, it ain't just the O-line. Like, I'm not blaming the O-line, bro. I'm just not, bro. Like, I'm sorry, bro, but I'm just not about to sit here and blame the O-line all the time. Like, something need to happen. If it need to happen, you need to chip some guys, throw some screens, run some draws, whatever it is. Like, something in the coaching need to happen. And Sam Darnold need to make a fucking play. Make a play. Why am I going to give you $40 million a year if you can't make a play when you need to make a play? Dog, bro. If everything need to always be so ideal for you to fucking be good, and you ain't good. You ain't good. If you need to have the number 1 defense and 2 elite receivers and a good running game and a great coach and a great quarterback coach and a really good tight end for you to be good, then you ain't good. I ain't giving you $40 million a year. You ain't getting 10 from me. I don't care. But it just look bad, bro. Like, I picked the Rams to win because, I like Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua, my dog. And I knew, like, if this turned into a quarterback duel, I knew Matt Stafford was going to win.
Right.
He was going to win for sure. So, just domination, man. Domination. They scored the last 2 games, scored 9 points. No, hold on, let me see. Did they score a touchdown last night?
Yeah, late. But other than that, they were about to get shut out the way they were playing.
Okay, yeah, they scored a touchdown. But the last 2 weeks, it was like 22 straight possessions where they didn't score a touchdown. 22 until they scored. But 9 points, 2 straight games of games where they mattered. Them games mattered. That's when football is football. So that's
Yeah.
why I don't be hype on certain teams early in the year, man, when they 7-2 and Pittsburgh 10-3 and they beat the Washington and they beat the Ravens and oh my God, they're gonna go to the Super Bowl and then they lose 5 in a row. You know why? Because football gets serious in December and the end of November. Like after Thanksgiving, every game is for real. Teams not about to trick you with what they doing. Everybody got the game plan. Everybody got the script. Everybody know what they gonna do. They know the tendencies. They know what you do on P and 10. They know what you do on 1st and 10. They know your third down coverage. Who can execute? Who can execute the game plan? Who can dominate? And that's what it is. So all that trying to scheme shit up and all we the best office coordinator. You see what happened to them coordinators. Matt LaFleur, ass whooping. Kyle Shanahan, not even make the playoffs. All that guru shit they be talking about, bro. That shit ain't nothing, bro. Because if you ain't got the players, it ain't nothing, bro. You can scheme up all that shit, but if I punch you in your face, you gonna be worried about me punching you in your face again.
Hey, and that's what Sean McVay did. He got on them early, and y'all need to stop putting. And this is where I'm at with this too. And then just briefly, I'm done with all like these coaches. Oh, he came from the tree. Sean McVay is the best coach right now in the NFL,
Yeah,
and I stand 10 toes on that. What
easy.
he did last night, and for him to be a team that wasn't even thought about to get into the playoffs, kind of towards the end of December, and they were kind of flirting with it, for him to come out and do this, you better take them Rams serious because it's more than just the players not only doing what they need to do, coaches need to bring that shit as well. And every time I see a Sean McVay team in the playoffs, they're ready for it because he knows what he needs to do and he knows his personnel, and he's not going to go ahead and not give his team an opportunity. So shout out to the Rams. That was a great message to send to other playoff teams, to Philly. Like, hey, listen, we not just going to loaf over because the Packers just gave them the game plan.
Yeah.
On what to do with Hurts in that passing attack. So, and they got a D line. Packers ain't got it. I mean, they got one sack. They got a hungry D line that is going to get after. I don't care who's up in front for Philly.
Yeah.
I don't care about none of that. I don't care about no Pro Bowls, no nothing. Because if Sean Gary can go ahead and get a sack, and they just got 6 of them, come on, bro. So
9 of them things.
they got 9 of them. I went to bed. at like 9:20.
They had 6 in the first half. They had 9 in the whole game.
Jesus, that's insane.
Yeah. The Vikings, 14 wins, all just lose in the first round. That's why I told you they needed home field advantage.
Yes, they did.
They needed home field advantage.
Yes, they did. And you know what's crazy, my good brother? They still would have lost. Anyways, let's go ahead and get on to what we're going to be seeing this weekend with the NFL. I'm just going to go ahead and list these off, my good brother, and then you obviously can take the floor because this is your Speak On It segment, and I like to go ahead and the people need to hear what's really about to go down. So NFC North, Saturday first, Washington Commanders versus Detroit Lions, and then Sunday the Rams versus the Eagles. And then the AFC for Saturday, Houston Texans versus Kansas City Chiefs. And then Sunday, Ravens versus Bills. So Saturday, it's Commanders Detroit for the late game. And then Texans Chiefs at 4:30. And then Rams versus Eagles on Sunday at 3 p.m. And then it is the prime time, which in my opinion, the game to definitely watch, but I'm watching all of them. You got the Ravens versus the Bills. And that one is at 6:30 p.m. So talk to me a little bit about this. It's here. I can't wait to go ahead and see who comes out. When you look at these, just from what I read, what are you thinking?
All right, Texas Chiefs. Obviously, that's the first game on Saturday, 4:30. Chiefs coming off. They haven't played football, and it'll be 3 weeks since they really played football. Obviously, they rested a lot of players the last week of the season. So, like I said, it'd be 3 weeks, literally over 20 days from the last time they have played in a football game. So, yeah, they're going to be healthy and they're going to be well rested, but that's not always a great thing to have, especially going against a team coming off a defensive performance that the Texans have done versus a really good quarterback. Like Herbert is a so-called, I heard people having him in the top 5, especially top 10. So,
Yes.
and for him to turn the ball over 4 times with people dropping the ball, shit, it can happen. So, with all that being said, I got the Chiefs in that game. I got the Chiefs in that game. I just think they're gonna be too much. I think I'm not gonna say Houston is gonna revert back to the team they were all year, but the Chiefs, you're not gonna mistakenly beat the Chiefs. You're gonna have to beat the Chiefs, and
Right.
to do it in Arrowhead, and to beat Patrick Mahomes in his own backyard, you're gonna have to have a damn near perfect game from the start of it to the finish. And I don't know if Houston is gonna be that team. So I'm gonna take Patrick Mahomes winning that game for sure. Yeah, I think it's going to be a run game. I think Pacheco and Kareem Hunt is going to touch the ball probably 25 times to 28 times together. I think the run game will be established, and I think it'll be a game where it's probably 21-13, one of those type of games. I got Houston. I mean, I'm not Houston. I got the Chiefs winning that game.
And then
And
obviously that Saturday got the good old Lions versus Commanders. What you got in that one?
yes, Lions versus Commanders. I'm gonna take the Lions. I want to see a good game though.
I was about to be like, all right, if you pick the Commanders, I'm literally gonna be like, this guy is crazy.
No. But if I was to say any one seed getting upset between the Chiefs and the Lions, I would say the Lions have a more, I can see them losing more than I see the Chiefs losing. And that's just because of Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Like, who knows, bro? He might can take over the whole game and just pump the electricity into his whole team, and they can come out and have a perfect game. I don't know. And it's in a dome. So, you feel me? Like, it ain't going, no weather issue, none of that. Houston, they used to playing the dome. It's going to be cold in Arrowhead, so they're going to be a little worried about that. And I don't know if they got enough playmakers to fight through that. But Commanders going into there, they might. Who knows? They next take over. But I got the Lions winning. I think it's going to be a grimy game. I think they will win comfortably. That is a word.
That is weird.
Yeah, I think Jared Goff going to come out have a clean game. I think the Wild Dogs going to do their thing. I don't think the Washington defense is going to be able to stop St. Brown and J-Mo and Laporta and Gibbs. And I heard Montgomery is coming back. But I think this is going to be too much for this team, man. Playing Detroit, night game, is going to be rocking. So
yes, it is.
You're not just going to, like, you're going to have to beat the Lions as well. Like, I'm glad I'm saying that shit that oh my God. The Lions are that good now to where they ain't going to beat themselves. Dog, I love it. I love it. So, you're going to have to beat that team. And it's going to take a perfect game. And they're not just going to let you win. So, but I got the Lions winning that game. But I think I'm tuned into it for sure. Facts.
I'm right with you. Those games are going to be incredible Saturday. And then Sunday, first game, Rams versus Eagles. And then later that, Ravens versus Bills. Talk to me about those two games. What are some factors for each games and all that good stuff? Because we got some great football on coming this weekend.
Yeah. For the Eagles and the Rams game, I think the big factors are, will you be able to slow down Saquon and turn this and make Jalen Hurts throw the ball? But slowing down Saquon is going to be tough because you got 4 Pro Bowl offensive line. 3 of them is made to all-pro teams. You got a big tight end that's dirty and muddy and grimy and Goddard. And then you got A.J. Brown and Devontae Adams on the end. I mean, not Devontae Adams.
Excuse me.
A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. It's going to be tough to stop this offense, but coming off a game where you just got 9 sacks and you were able to stop the run and you were able to damn near control the whole game, you're going to be feeling good coming to this game. Now, I think they will be well coached as well. I think Sean McVay is the better coach in this game, but I think the Eagles are the better team in this game. But I do think the Rams can play with this team as well. Now, I'm not saying they're going to win. I'm going to pick the Eagles just to be safe, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams won this game. And I don't think the Rams is going to have to play perfect to win this game. I think they would just have to score points, move the ball, start fast and start early. You have to start fast and start early and muddy the game plan for the Eagles, because the game plan for the Eagles is going to be run the ball. So, but you
Absolutely.
can change that by scoring points early. Because if you score points early, now the series where, hey, we was going to run the ball 2 times and then pass the ball, now that's going to turn into we have to pass the ball maybe on first down and third down and run the ball on second down. So if you turn it into a game like that where you telling Jalen Hurts, hey, you're going to have to throw more than 131 yards, I think that's the recipe for the Rams to win. But it's going to be tough sledding trying to, stop Saquon Barkley. I mean, he's an elite running back, 2,000 yards this year, ran the ball pretty well last week. So it's going to be tough. But I got the Eagles winning this game. But Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp and Higbee and Kyron Williams, they ain't easy to stop, man. They ain't easy to stop at all. So I think that's going to be a very, very, very interesting game this week. Very. So I'm excited to watch that game, though.
No, right with it. And then last but not least, man,
The
the one you're trying to talk about to basically go ahead and secure. Well, I think Lamar's going to win the MVP anyways.
Yeah.
But this is going to be all this time. You want to see who's the better man, Josh Allen or Lamar? It's going to get settled. So talk to me about this. But this is going to be a really good game.
Man, I love this game. Obviously, the Ravens beat these boys down in week 4 of this season. Just totally annihilated them by 25 points, in which Lamar don't get blew out in games. I'm just put that out there. Other quarterbacks do, but Lamar don't. But I'm excited for this game, man. Of course, I got the Ravens. I think they're the better team. I think they got the better defense. I think how we felt about the Bills prior to this season, like coming into this season, yeah, some people had high hopes. Some people, people thought they was going to fall off because of the guys they let go, and you really didn't have a bunch of big names on his team and things like that. So people was like, oh, they might make the playoffs, they might not. That feeling is what they're going to be talking about after this game. They ain't going to be talking about, oh, this is a Super Bowl team and this and that. They're going to be like, man, well, they ain't had nobody. You feel me? They only had 2 All-Pros. They only had 2 Pro Bowlers. Josh Allen didn't have anybody on the receiving court. They're going to be saying that after this game. They're going to be saying that after this game. The Ravens is about to go in there and they about to run the ball. Who going to stop Derrick Henry? I watched the the Broncos be able to run the ball. I watched teams be able to really score on this Bills team. They don't have no huge linebacker that's going to stop. Derrick Henry is bigger than everybody on their defense. Even they D lineman, he bigger than them. And then you got this offensive line, and you got Lamar Jackson. Who gonna stop Lamar? I think the Ravens win, even if Zay Flowers don't play. Which he probably won't. I don't know. And if he do play, he ain't gonna be 100%. He probably gonna be 85.
If that.
I've seen them win games when he had 1 catch, 2 catches. They won games with him not performing as well. Now, obviously, that's different from him not being on the field, but they can win games. They just know Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Likely, Andrews, Bateman, Aguilar, Wallace, even Anthony Miller. Shout out to Anthony Miller getting there catching a couple passes, man. Nice. That's
Right.
good for him. He's in the right time, catch the ball, did his thing. Like, that just helps the whole team. And Lamar got his guy back, Justice Hill. If you know anything about Justice Hill, he remind me of Ahmad Bradshaw for the Giants. He remind me of Dominique Rose for the Colts, of Kevin Falk for the Patriots. See, you don't know them. This for your time. You don't really know nothing
First
about
off,
those guys.
you just went ahead and threw out some incredible running backs right there. I think people don't even know that. I had to pause on it. I'm like, oh yeah, I know who it was. But continue.
Yeah, bro. I watch football for real. Like, this is for real. Like, for real. And he just got his weapons, bro. And I think it's good for the Ravens to go on the road. Go on the road where your back is against the wall. You probably ain't going to be favorite. People don't expect you to win. And we watched the quarterback last year, a 3 seed. The year was up and down, up and down. It was this, it was that. We watch a team win at home the first week of the playoffs, go on the road into Buffalo in week 2 and win, and then go on to in the AFC Championship and win on the road again. And that guy was Patrick Mahomes. I think this is about to be a duplicate of that. And it's going to be more impressive, though, because it's Lamar. He going to make it look great. He going to make it look good. He going to do his thing. The Ravens take care of the ball. They win this game. I think they're going to be able to run the ball for sure. I think they're going to be able to pass the ball for sure. Bills defense ain't sweet. Who the fuck gonna check who? They not sweet like that. Like they cool, but I'm telling you, after this game, they gonna be like, man, they ain't had nobody on defense. Who are the names on defense? Yeah, okay, yep, let's do that. Yep, Cause like I said, I think the Ravens are the better team. I don't think nobody gonna be able to stop Derrick Henry. And even if you do, I don't think they will. I don't think you're gonna be able to stop Lamar Jackson. I think the Ravens defense is gonna come to play football. I think this is the game where Kyle Hamilton is gonna show out.
Yeah.
At D-line, Matabuke, Pierce, Job, Van Noy. I think they gonna Jones, Washington. I think they're gonna be able to stop the run. I think they're gonna stop the run, and they gonna make Josh Allen pass the ball. But who are the world beaters on the outside? I mean, we love Amari Cooper, and I do, but since he became a Bill, shit, he ain't been snapping. He probably not even looking at him like that. He looking at Shakir and Mac Hollins and Kincaid and these guys. Are they gonna beat you? I just don't think the Ravens gonna lose to Kincaid and Shakir. Nothing against those guys because they're pretty good, but I don't think the Bills have enough. Or they do have enough. I just think the Ravens. I just think we watching a Super Bowl run right now, but the Ravens, like we watching it, and we at the beginning stages of it, and they hungry, bro. I think they learned from last year, and I think they hungry, and I think Lamar want to shut all that shit up too. All this talk, I think he want to shut it all up. So I'm tuned into this game. I'm watching every fucking second of it. Every second of it. Lamar about to have a Lamar day. I'm not saying Josh Allen gonna play bad. I'm not saying he gonna play bad. I hope he do, but I'm not saying he gonna play bad. I just think the Ravens and Lamar, they're gonna be prepared. They're gonna play dominant, and they're gonna find a way to win this game. That's just what I feel. But I think this is the game. This is the game. This is the game, and this is the game of the week. Everybody been wanting it to happen. The 2 MVPs clashing he not an MVP. Other guys got 2 of them. This guy ain't got none of them. But the 2 candidates, top candidates, front runners, if you want to say so, which I think Lamar already gonna win because the vote's already in, and I don't think this game even matter, honestly. But I still think after this game, Lamar gonna win it anyway. But this is the clash of the Titans. 2 fan bases that's gonna be turned, gonna be cold. Playoff football, old school football. Man, what more can you ask for, man? What more can you ask for? So I'm excited to watch this game. I got the Ravens. Let me see what I think the score is gonna be. I'm gonna go 31 Ravens. I'm gonna go 31-18.
31-18?
31-18.
That sounds like that sounds like Lamar about to come out there with a purpose, which I think he will. I mean, I think even as good as the Bills are, the Ravens are much better. That's how I look at it. I look at it from that perspective. And boy, oh boy, we going to see just not only that game, but the games that we mentioned earlier. Lip, appreciate you. Take these beautiful people out if they're hearing it for
Hold up now, because we don't have we ain't gonna have an episode. The next episode gonna be out after the national championship.
Oh yeah.
So who you got in the national championship? Notre Dame or Ohio State?
I've been very, very pleased with my picks of taking Notre Dame, but I am going to go Big Ten, and I'm going to take the Buckeyes.
Okay.
I think it can get ugly very fast for Notre Dame.
So you hold up. You think it can get ugly, right? You don't
Yeah.
like Notre Dame defense versus like what if they able to pressure Will Howard and muddy it up a little bit? Like, what you think? Because Will Howard will throw it to the other team.
Oh, absolutely. He 100% will. But I don't think that was everyone's 0-0 when you go in and get in his playoffs. He's been playing very efficient, great decision-making football.
Correct.
And he knows and he's embracing that he has to play well. And he has all the weapons around him that he needs to go ahead and he doesn't have to be you obviously have to be the big man on campus this game. You got to be effective. You have to throw the football. You just get the ball to your playmakers and let them work. And that defense is playing unreal right now for Ohio State. They're looking like the Ohio State as of what we and you normally would see with the Joe Bosas, with the Lattimores, with the Bell
Ellie.
at safety. Guys that are actually like, if it comes to one-on-one, they're making plays. So I think Ohio State, I got them winning, but don't be surprised if this thing gets out of hand ugly. Because Big Ten right now has been showing that dominance. We're the best. Let me say this very crystal clear. Big Ten is the best football division, conference, whatever you want to call it, in NCAA. So
from top to bottom, I got Ohio State. I picked them at the beginning of the year, and they here, so I'm gonna go with them. I'm gonna go with them, and I got Ohio State winning, man. That'd be dope, man. That'd be dope for them boys to win. It'd be dope for either team to win, but I got Ohio State winning.
Absolutely. Thanks for catching me on that. I totally forgot. But with that, everyone, you guys have a wonderful weekend. My good brother Tony Lippett, aka Lip, take us out, man.
Drink y'all water, man. Take care of yourselves.
Trying
Watch some good football. Watch Lamar, man. Watch Josh Allen, man. Watch them Lions, man. We in for a great weekend, man. Enjoy.
Yes, sir. Everyone, peace out, man. We'll see y'all next time.